Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. I hope everyone's been having a great week. It is now Saturday. So for those who played a lottery, you have Powerball coming in tonight. Looks like it's a pretty good amount. I don't know. But if you're playing it, I hope you can win it, guys. I really do. So on other news, been talking to family and just different people that we've talked to over the years. And I can remember when we first started talking about prepping and doing things about sustainability on this channel, caught a lot of flack from people, basically, saying, well, yeah, whatever, there'll always be play. But now they're calling, they're going, I don't really know what to do because we're not really prepared. Sounds like there's going to be a bunch of wars breaking off. Just food prices, the inflation is going crazy. They can't afford fuel. And, it's basically the stuff that we talk about on this channel all the time. They want to know what to do. So what you got to do is you got to start prepping. I know it's hard to now at this point with the prices of everything going up the way they are. But hey, man, that's just part of it. But that's the way it always works is, you have people warning and people getting prepared, and the rest of them, they running around being slothful, not caring. And then when it finally catches up to them and they can't afford to eat and they basically have wasted all their time, then they're sitting back going, well, maybe someone will help me out at this point. So I'm sure a lot of y'all have dealt with that as preppers as well. But it's just kind of interesting. But be watching this new storm that's developed out there. It was 91L Invest. It's actually been changed up to a tropical storm now at this point, a tropical depression. Expected to go into a storm, but keep an eye on that. It's expected to blow north back up into the Atlantic. But like I say, on the East Coast, be watching it because they've said that about hurricanes and stuff in the past, and they continue to blow right on through. So something you need to be aware of, folks. But I think it's important just kind of remind everybody, prep the best way that you can and prep what you eat. You may not like the things that we prep here, so we've done a lot of videos in the past showing the canned foods and the dry goods that we do. So one of the things I'm really stocking up on now is this 15 bean soup. It's 15 different types of beans. It comes with this seasoning packet, some kind of Cajun stuff, which works pretty good. I don't know the long-term storability of that seasoning, but the beans themselves, it's pretty cheap to get a couple pounds of that. And with that, I just put that in a crock pot, and usually we'll add some pork loin. But really, you can add anything. I've put quail in there. I've put chicken meat. I've put, ribs and stuff like that in with it as well. It all cooks the same, and it all turns out great. So that's something you can think of in the future if you're looking for protein source and even carbs. You can look into a lot of your beans and things like that, legumes and stuff, and just add meat sources to that. Add, whatever it is that you like to flavor it with as well. I like my stuff a little spicier than some, but I don't really want it like real hot either. I like a little spice to it. So, but everyone's got their own preferences on that, folks. But it's just one of them things where when you're looking what's happening around the world today and you're seeing what's happening in society, the main thing I want to remind you is don't be fearful. We knew this stuff was coming. We were warned this was coming almost 2,000 years ago, guys. And it's just, to me, it's impressive to see the way prophecy is fulfilling in today's society, all around the world, not just in this country. But I have noticed with some of our comments and stuff, people have voiced concern about maybe should they be voicing their opinions and stuff on social media or even out in the world. And I would say, yes, go ahead and do it. And the reason I say that is you're a target either way, guys. That's what it comes down to. But when you voice and you speak your testimony, you have a possibility of reaching lives. And that's what this is all about. It's not about staying quiet, staying hidden. That's not what we're called to do. We're called to step out in faith. Something that if you read back in the New Testament, folks, everyone that came out and they were given the gospel, sharing their testimony, every single one of them had been handed up to persecution, and they had actually been murdered for that. You call it martyrdom and stuff like that, but that's where we're approaching today as a society as well. Now, it's going to take a while before it gets escalated up to what we're seeing over in a lot of these other countries, but we're not too far off from it with rhetoric coming from our president calling people extremists. So understand, they used to call them terrorists back in the day, and then they wrap the word back to extremist. But it's the same thing. And for him to say that to have a make America great again type of mentality is a form of extremism, and that is dangerous. Apparently he doesn't pay attention to what we're seeing around the world. The ones that are burning cities and attacking, the elderly and attacking children and attacking families and stuff in the streets is not that Republican group. It is, in fact, his group of people. So, but like he said that it is a danger to our democracy. Now, when we say our, we're not talking about our. He says it's a danger to our republic. He's not talking about the Republic of America. He's talking about their version of it, the socialist version of it. So, yes, he's correct. Having a constitutional view for someone who got up there and said that we don't hold to the Constitution, he's wrong, obviously, because one of the things is we highly hold to our Constitution, a freedom of speech, a freedom to right to bear arms, and they're the ones infringing on that. So listen to what they're saying, but observe what they're doing. They say one thing and they do another. You can't come in and infringe people's constitutional rights and then accuse them of being the ones wanting to infringe rights. I mean, I guess you can do it, but it makes you look like a buffoon, and that's what we have in office today. We have a buffoon. So I had thought about doing a thing, and I'm going to tell you about what it was because I wasn't sure how it would play out, but I had thought about doing like a kind of a faux interview with Joe Biden, and be asking some questions and flip the camera around and have like a big steaming pile of dog poo sitting there and then do a voiceover coming back from it like he was talking. But I didn't really know how that would go over here on YouTube. So just visualize that. When he's up there, that's what I'm visualizing is a worthless pile of crap that's spouting off, and all you hear is farting noises. And that's basically what it is, guys. That's basically what comes out of that side of the aisle. Now, will Donald Trump run in 2024? I don't know. I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see. As of right now, to me, he looks like the best candidate. But, man, anything could happen. At this point, it's anybody's well, I say anybody is anybody with over $1 million worth of assets, game to win, if you want to call it that. But understand that there is levels of corruption in every politician and every leader. There's always going to be their self-interest, which will come before anybody else, or their family's interest will come before anybody else. And that's what we're looking at. What I would really like to see happen is a good, godly leader step into the scene and not just be a constitutionalist, but also hold to the Ten Commandments as well, folks. At some point in society, sexualization became like the normal. Everything is sexualized out, and if you say anything against it, then you are the bad guy because they're free to do what they want. But if you say something, they call it a phobia or you're something, whatever word they've got of the week, phobic. And unfortunately for them, they're trying to catch offense for basically truth being told, which is you keep your private life private when it comes to stuff like that. You keep your sex life private. I don't know when it became cool or popular to be out talking all that stuff. Maybe I ran in different circles and things like that growing up, but that was not the normal. But the normal today is, and it's from grade school and up at this point with the just the perversions that are happening. And if you have a problem with an adult that's not you or your wife or or whoever your spouse is, guys, if you're sitting there and you're like, well, I don't have a wife, I have a husband, whatever. Hey man, if you don't want some stranger talking to your kids about sexual identity and sex, then you're labeled a bad person because you're not tolerant. Well, we should not tolerate that kind of intrusion in our personal life. It's never been something that should be tolerated. And the fact that they're pushing, they want to wedge themselves in your homes, and that's what it is. And when you fight back against that, then we're the problem. The problem is not people wanting to keep your private lives private. It's not trying to keep people's outside influence from entering into your family. The problem is an overreaching government that is not actually a constitutional government, folks. That's something we need to understand. People are wondering, is America going to fall? Is America going to fall? When's it going to happen? I'm here to tell you it's already happened. Look around. The American ideology is being fought against. And rather than standing up and telling people, this is what we believe, and this is what this country was founded on, we're keeping quiet and we're sitting back. So this is just as much as our fault as it is the people pushing the rhetoric, guys. I'm not telling you to go out and do a bunch of violence and stupid stuff. What I'm telling you is you can speak. I hate to get kind of dirty or whatever with this, but guys that are out there, you got balls between your legs, use them for something other than breeding. Stand up and have a spine. Tell them we're done. We want our country back. And when these freaking morons move into your area and they start doing their liberal garbage in your town, Tell them to get out. If everyone starts going over, get out, get out, get out, like they do us, heck, over the weekend, you want something to do family time, get you one of them nice watermelons, cut it up in slices, get together with some buddies, and y'all go sit out in front of the yard with signs. Go back. Go back to wherever liberal state they came from. That's what you need to do. And let them know they're not welcome here, so they will leave. If you've got governors and senators and things like that up in New York telling people it's time to get out of New York, you move to Florida because we don't want you up here because like we're scum or something. So let's do it to them as well in a peaceful way, guys. Whatever they do, you can do it back to them, but be peaceful. Let them be the ones in violence, because that's what's going to be remembered in history. As far as that big town hall display that Biden did, the only other thing I could compare that to was one of Hitler's rallies, man. That's basically what it seemed like. But everyone have a wonderful day.